Today I want to share my thoughts and speak to the individuals that's ready to take their life to the next level. The ones that feel like it's time to move on. You know, we all come to that point in life when we feel like it's time to move on. There's a few things that you must do to get yourself to the next level. And one of the things that I did to take myself to the next level, I made up in my mind, that was the very first thing. I made up in my mind that it was time for a change. I had a vision. The guys that I was kicking it with and people that was in my circle, none of them really had the vision. No, had a vision, let alone the vision. And when I made up in my mind to move on, I made sure that I had a plan. You must have a plan when it's time, or you feel it's time to move on. You must have a connection and or the finances to hold you while you transition. You need to have a job or a contract or something already in place so you already know where you're going when you make that move. Not only that, second, you gotta have your finances together. That's a must. I made sure I had my finances together when I decided to move from one end of the state to the other end. I made sure that I had enough cushion to hold me and my family for at least 6 months, even though I already had a contract. So I was immediately working once I made the transition. Thirdly, you gotta just let go. Gotta let go and move on. Don't be afraid. That's what I'm really trying to say. Don't be afraid of change. Change can bring about great things if you changing for the right reason. Change is the most best thing that could happen to you. That did happen to me. I was able to elevate my life and my family life and take us to the next level. Put us in a better position. Put us in a brand new house. I was able to buy my son a brand new car while he was still in high school. And now he's in college. And now I'm into the investing arena, growing my wealth. These are some of the things that in the beginning that you just really have to make up in your mind that it's time to move. You know, everything in life has a season. There's a time for this. There's a time for that. There's a time to say goodbye. There's a time to say hello. And I'm just so glad that I took the time to move on, further my life. I go back at times, but I just, and they're still doing the same thing. They're laying stagnant. I just knew that it was time for me to move on. Just thought I want to share my thoughts on how I took myself to the next level. Subscribe to my channel. See you in my next one.